Fans, in tonight's main event, the rocking Rick Boogs with an opportunity of a lifetime, a shot at the Rage Television Championship held by T-Dog Tomasio. With Sir Rockin' Rick Boogs' number has come up, he has a huge opportunity to snatch away the Rage Television Championship from T-Dog Tomasio, and the only thing he needs to do is get a 3-count pinfall or a submission, but that is not going to be an entirely easy thing for him to pull off.
It's not impossible, though. Rick Boogs is definitely on T-Dog's level. He could pull off an upset. It's not impossible. I wouldn't rule it out. It could very well happen.
Boogs totally has what it takes. He's got a respectable win-loss record. And he's got that old-school wrestling style that T-Dog Tomasio shares with him. And as far as I can remember, they've never crossed paths before. So it should be a pretty exciting main event on that alone. Do I think Boogs will leave Manchester with the belt tonight, though? I'm kinda on the fence on that, only because Tomasio has been so steadfast in his defense of the Snarl TV title. The odds just favor the Dogster, just that much more.
You know how it is, Christy. We usually tend to favor the champion in a title match. And I guess the Dogster, well, he has been doing pretty good for himself, hasn't he?
And just take a look at this. Look who he has got coming along with him down to ringside. No less a personage than the Snarl General Manager Hangman Tex Lynch, his former tag team partner in Masks Incorporated. Tex Lynch coming down to support his tag team partner and friend in this title defense.
It's nice to see Tex coming down to ringside. He's been so busy. Him and Steve Groves both with all the general manager stuff. We didn't get to see too much of him during the tour. But here he is wearing that big old 10-gallon hat of his. And T-Dog Tomasio looking down the barrel of possibly losing the Rage Television title, which would not be good for him.
An exciting main event, to be sure. The Rage Television Championship hanging in the balance here. And Rick Boogs again with a massive opportunity to elevate his stock to previously unseen levels.
Tonight's Rage main event, one fall with a 20-minute time limit, is for the RWL Rage Television Championship. The challenger, from Columbus, Ohio, weighing 234 pounds, here is Rick Boogs. His opponent, along with Hangman Tex Lynch, from parts unknown, weighing 240 pounds, the RWL Rage Television Champion, T-Dog Tomasio.
The Dogster, having grown quite accustomed to having that Rage Television title as he turns it over to referee Walt Rothburn for the inspection of Rick Boogs, who has got to be excited about this matchup. And what a main event we are looking at right here. Rick Boogs stands at the ready, so does T-Dog Tomasio. Here's our main event. The bell sounds. The man comes centering T-Dog with a hard right away, goes behind Rick Boogs, counters with an elbow. They lock up again. Boogs quickly countered by the Dogster. Inverted DDT center ring, dropping the back of the head of Rick Boogs against the canvas. Boogs quickly countering the Dogster, has him up over the shoulder in the fireman's carry. Samoan drop, taking him down. Tex Lynch looking a little bit exasperated already. Rick Boogs pitches him halfway across the ring. There's a kick to the leg from Rick Boogs. T-Dog Tomasio catches a clubbing overhead right before he can even stand. Tex Lynch looking on as Rick Boogs gets ready to go topside, getting ready to go here. Here's the Dogster, stands up, and there's a shoulder tackle, taking the Dogster right down to the mat again. Rick Boogs with a two-handed chokelet and hurls T-Dog Tomasio to the other side of the ring. Delivers a kick to the leg. And another, the Dogster, on the defensive in the early goings here. He shoves Rick Boogs down to the mat, nails him with an overhand right. Gathers him back up. Rick Boogs with catches a short shot from the Dogster. Rick Boogs counters, back up on his feet, locks up T-Dog Tomasio. T-Dog goes around with the counter again, another inverted DDT. As Tex Lynch looks on in approval. Rick Boogs steps out, steps back in. T-Dog Tomasio talking trash to Rick Boogs already. A hard right from Rick Boogs. Boogs counters. Another one spins the Dogster around. He goes behind. T-Dog Tomasio counters with an elbow. They lock it up again. Rick Boogs placed up against the ropes. T-Dog Tomasio has him up, back suplex. Dropping Rick Boogs on the back of his head practically. The Dogster with a stamp to the arm of Rick Boogs. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event. The Rage television title on the line. 20-minute time limit. A little bit longer than we're used to seeing. The Dogster all the way up as Rick Boogs reaches a standing position. Here we go. Whoa! An elbow right to the top of the head of Rick Boogs. Beautiful fist drop from T-Dog Tomasio. Rick Boogs counters with a kick, back up on his feet, gets a hold of the Dogster. Whoa! Pump handle suplex from Rick Boogs. T-Dog Tomasio counters with a shot to the midsection, tries for the drop toe hold, but doesn't get it. Counters with a kick instead. Whoa, look at this. Whoa, whole bunch of fancy stuff right there going on. T-Dog Tomasio covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. But Rick Boogs getting that left shoulder up. Doesn't want this match to end quite that way. The title on the line here. Rick Boogs is going to really try hard to pick up a win here over the Dogster, but he is not doing too well right now. T-Dog with a jab, a kick, goes behind, German suplex to Rick Boogs. Boogs rolls on out to the floor. The Dogster getting ready to go air off the top left turnbuckle. Here we go, another elbow to the top of the head of Rick Boogs. Boogs with a shoulder claw from T-Dog Tomasio as referee Walt Rothburn continues to count. T-Dog drives a knee into the head of Rick Boogs, and I do believe he just busted him open. Tomasio locks him up, swing and a miss from Rick Boogs. He's got him up. Atomic drop right to the keister. T-Dog catches a knee to the midsection from Rick Boogs. Hard right, spins the Dogster around. Boogs goes behind, has him up, pays the atomic drop back in spades, and takes himself back inside the ring before time runs out. The Dogster following him in. Look at this, Rick Boogs doing a little bit of showboating here. Hard right, spins him around. T-Dog lays in a sleeper hold. Rick Boogs far enough away from the ropes that it's useful. T-Dog not releasing the hold at all. But Rick Boogs, resourceful as ever, with a jawbreaker, disengages the hold, locks up T-Dog Tomasio, whips him towards the ropes, misses with that shoulder, charges again, but takes him down the hard way. T-Dog Tomasio catches a stomp to the midsection from Rick Boogs. The Dogster trying to make his way to a standing position in the corner, delivers a kick to Boogs, gets himself back up, misses with the drop kick. Rick Boogs rolling out of the way. Boogs with a, tried for the gut wrench suplex. T-Dog went behind on him. Rick Boogs with another impressive counter and a running boot takes T-Dog Tomasio down to the mat. Rick Boogs taking a moment to rally some support from the fans here in Manchester. Pitches T-Dog into the far right corner. T-Dog counters. Rick Boogs counters. Double axe handle. Takes the Dogster down to the canvas. And Rick Boogs going to take full advantage of T-Dog Tomasio being down. Rounds him up. Oh, another double axe handle. An elbow. T-Dog misses with the clothesline. Boogs rebounds and a clothesline takes the Dogster down and into the far left corner. Rick Boogs quickly countered by T-Dog Tomasio. Boogs counters Tomasio. Tries for the gut wrench. Whoa! Oh, that was just Rick Boogs starting to feel a little bit more confident here. T-Dog with a jab. Invites him to come along. Delivers an elbow to Rick Boogs. Goes behind on him. has him up for another atomic drop. And whoa! Tito Tomasio putting the boots to Rick Boogs. There's another shoulder claw. Tomasio trying to wear down Rick Boogs, his challenger for the Rage Television title. T-Dog all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Boom! Big time leg drop across the throat of Rick Boogs, and he is out. Look at this. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3. T-Dog Tomasio retaining the Rage Television title by pinfall.
Here's the time, 6 minutes, 20 seconds. Your winner and still Rage Television champion, T-Dog Tomasio.
You see that? How can you not be impressed with T-Dog Tomasio? You give him a 20-minute time limit, and he wraps up Rick Boogs in 6 and change to retain the title? You don't see that kind of talent every day, guys. You really don't.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that puts the cap on this week's edition of RWL Rage. As always, we thank all of you for joining us and for supporting RWL in the way that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned earlier at the start of the program, coming up next is a special edition of Ladies Night, a tournament edition of Ladies Night for the season premiere. We will be back next week. For all of us here at RWL, I've been Don Hickson. Thanks, and we'll see you at ringside next time.